All right, it's Monday, July 8th. We are in a brand new week. The third quarter is off and running, and I'm so glad you're here. We are retitling Miracle Monday to Master Your Week. Because with ritual and planning, we can master our week and save 1 to 5 hours of time with 20 minutes of planning and intention setting. So we step back at the beginning of our week. Often that's on Monday, sometimes that's on Sunday night, sometimes that's Friday at the end of the day for the next week, just depends. But I like to offer this on Monday so you can get a start on your week with intention. So, like I was saying, when we step back and look at the big picture of what's coming for our week, we can be more intentional. We can make better decisions. We don't get caught up in what's happening around us. We can more design how we want the week to go. So if you have any distractions, put those aside, silence those, whatever you can do to be fully here, fully present right now. You'll get more out of this session when you're not distracted. So let's start with a couple of deep breaths, okay? So take a nice deep breath and let it out. And if you can do that slowly, even better, but you don't have to. Keep breathing a nice deep breath and let it out slowly. And one more time. Breathe in and let it out slowly. Okay. So glad you're here this morning. Thank you for joining me. We are going to get started by talking about vision. Okay. So what is your vision? Okay, that could include your life. What is your vision for your personal life? It can also include your work or your business. What is your vision for that? And in my book, Pause to Prosper, I've got some exercises for you for that. You can ask questions and you can write about those. One question that I ask in there is, if you dared to dream that anything was possible, what would you dream? If you were bold enough to think outside the box of what you've had experienced so far, what would you dream up could be possible for this next year or even the next 6 months? I put in the email for you this morning that comparison is the thief of joy and also the clarity to get you on your true path. Because when we are comparing ourselves, comparing our results to other people, to other professionals, we actually lose sight of what's important to us. It can also rob us of our joy, can cause us to be depressed, stressed, frustrated, when we are comparing ourselves to what others have or what others are doing. So it's important to identify your vision for yourself. My book gives you, again, the exercises to do that. If you want to grab that on my website, the link is in your email this morning. It's important to know where you want to go. So when the going gets tough, when obstacles come up, challenges happen, because they do and they will every single time, then you can stay focused on the direction you want to go. And in the Congruence Compass, the vision is at the north. It's your North Star. So if you haven't thought about your vision lately, now is a good time to do that. So that's our micro teaching for today, for Master Your Week. Now, take a moment and look at your week. What is coming up? What's happening this week? Look at your calendar. you have a lot going on. You know, for my calendar, I have all my work stuff in one color, all my personal stuff in another color, and I have all my wellness activities in another color, like movement and stretching, exercise, things like that, massage, whatever that might be. So I'm looking at my calendar and I'm seeing a lot of red. I'm seeing some purple, which is my personal, and I'm seeing green almost every single day for my wellness. Now you can choose to adopt that if that works for you. You certainly don't have to. That's how I do it. And so when I look at my week at a glance, I can see, okay, I've got some areas where I can fill in some special projects that I am working on. And for some people, they like to time block. And so part of these calls, I invite you to do that. Because as a mentor of mine says, and I like to say too, if it's not scheduled, it doesn't happen. If it's not scheduled, it doesn't happen. And that's not just for work. That's for other things too. So what do you want to have happen this week so you get to the end of the week on July 12th and you feel successful, you feel accomplished, you feel like you've moved the needle forward in your life and in your work. And maybe there's some things on there that are reactions to fires. Maybe they're not on there, but it's gonna squeeze something else out. So what I encourage you to do is time block in your priorities for this week. I'm going to do that right now as you do it for yourself as well. You might hear me typing. I'm typing away here. I had COVID recently and I was out of pocket for a little while. That's why I missed a couple of weeks ago and offered that you watch a recording. And so because I've been out of pocket, my week feels very full because I'm catching up on some things. But I'm also recognizing there's opportunities for me to mark out prep time so I feel ready to go for particular meetings. Do you have prep time for meetings on your calendar? Even if it's just 15 minutes. Okay. So as you think about your week and your vision, bring to mind an aspect of your vision, meaning, you know, at the end of this year, what would you like one aspect of your life to look like? Just pick one. You don't have to think about it all right now. Think about maybe professionally or relationship-wise, health-wise, something, one category of your life. What is that vision for that area of your life? If it's work, maybe it's a promotion, maybe it's revenue that you're generating. Maybe it's a collaborative effort, a project that you want to accomplish. Maybe it's a particular kind of influence that you want to have in the marketplace. So as you think about that part of your vision, whatever that aspect of your, whatever category or area of your life you're focusing on right now, who can you be today that helps that vision come to reality? So the reason why I'm talking about who you can be is because that's how vision becomes reality. That's the first most important step, is who you're going to be. Because you can't want a vision for a promotion or more revenue and be out of focus and distracted all the time, right? You need to put some intention in there. We need to be strategic about the activities we're going to take, or the tasks we're going to do, the activities that we're going to do. So the first step in accomplishing anything is always who you're going to be. So identify that quality now and write it down. Maybe it's focus. Maybe it's strategic. Maybe it's discipline, that you're going to do the things that you know move you forward when other things keep wanting to squeeze out. Maybe it's you're going to be clear about how you're spending your time. Some people call that boundaries. Some people call that discipline. So you can give focus every week to the thing that's going to help you get to where you want to be by the end of the year. So write down the quality that you want to be this week and beyond. But for sure this week, that's how you master your week. That's one of the steps, is to identify who am I going to be and what am I going to do, which is what you also just did on your calendar. The tasks, the time blocking, the setting aside time for specific activities. Challenge yourself here. What is it that you're not doing that if you were doing it would get you to where you want to be by the end of the year? And I'll repeat that question, because as I talk about in Pause to Prosper, it is about good questions. Asking really good questions. Not how can I just get by till the end of the year? Or how can I just survive the next few weeks? Sometimes things are challenging, circumstances happen, and we can ask that question, and that is okay. But when it comes to thinking about our vision, we must add a question that's at the level of that thinking of the vision. We have to rise up on our level of thinking to match the level of the outcome or the picture we want to have. So what am I not doing now that if I started doing it would get me to the result I wanted by the end of 2024? And that is where the challenge comes in. So put that on your calendar, whatever that is. Maybe it's a 15-minute block every day to make some phone calls. For some people, I help people optimize to accelerate their results. For some people, it's optimizing their well-being so they can be sharper, so they can be focused and have more clarity. Okay, so you've identified who you want to be this week and you've written that down. You've blocked out some time on your calendar for the important tasks, the priorities that you have for the week. You might want to delegate some things or even delete them if you find that your calendar is too full. Having some open space is really important for self-optimization. That white space on the page, like I have an evaluation from a team training I just did. That white space on the page is just as important as what's on the page. Because if I had this whole page filled up with a lot of stuff, it'd be hard to focus on answering the questions of the evaluation form. So the white space is just as important, just like it is in your work life and in your calendar life. Give you time to think. That's what the whole premise of Pause to Prosper is all about. Of the book is to have some time to think, to strategize. And even if you've got that time blocked, that's creating space, okay? Even though you don't see it visually on the calendar, you've blocked out time for that. I work with executives and entrepreneurs, and I was talking with an executive lately, and I said, because her whole team can see her calendar, and I said, why don't you block it out for strategic planning? That way you can use that time to sit back, to do some reading, to take a breath, to get, clutter out of your head, to make a to-do list, whatever it is. And you also, by marking your calendar that other people can see for strategic planning, you're actually being a model. You're modeling that reflection time that's so important to elevating your results. It's part of how you optimize yourself. So we're going to close out today for our Master Your Week. And I'm going to invite you to think about something that you're grateful for. Think about something that you're grateful for having, for experiencing, for giving. Research shows that when we have feelings of gratitude, even for a minute like we have left on this call, our level of optimism and happiness raises. Hear that. Our level of optimism and happiness raises. So if you're not feeling optimistic about achieving your vision for one reason or another, take a minute and pause to prosper and have those feelings of gratitude for just a moment and just think about, man, this is what I have in my life right now that I'm so grateful for. Stepping back from the rat race or the hustle to take inventory of what's important to you and what you do have. Because as high performers, we are so focused on moving forward, getting the next thing, it is easy to lose sight of the things we do have. So we're raising our level of optimism and our level of happiness by taking these last 2 minutes of this call to think about what we're grateful for. I am grateful for you for showing up today. I know that it makes a difference in your week. You wouldn't show up here if it didn't. Have a great week. Live out your intention of who you want to be. Focus on those priorities. I'm here to empower your plans, help you optimize yourself so you can elevate your results. Have a great week, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.